If you consider yourself to be a leader who's overworked, overwhelmed, exhausted, and you want to find peace of mind, be more present in your personal life, and take care of yourself, you need to listen to this. A lot of times I hear people talking about having way too many demands. Somebody will say, "You got a quick minute?" It's never a quick minute. Somebody else will say, "Can I get your eyes on this for a sec?" It's never a second. One more thing. Oh, before you leave, that's the fats up. Am I right or am I right? And while each one of them alone doesn't seem like a lot, when you put those micro requests together, it becomes a micro mess. What I mean by that is it becomes really hard to say no. It becomes really hard to step back, especially if you've already taught people how to treat you. You've taught them that you are the go-to person, that you're going to get it done. Somebody's got to get it done fast, quickly, and easily. It's you. But that's not what you want. You don't want to be the doer. You want to be the thinker, the strategist, right? You're supposed to help them be able to help themselves so they can do their job. That's your job. But what happens is if you take on way too many things, you can't do your job. You can't do your job as a leader, right? You can't lead others if you can barely lead yourself. And one thing that you have to do is know how to set boundaries, know when to step back. Instead of, most of my clients are high achievers and they have the need to make sure that things are done right, especially if it has their name on it, if they're responsible for it. If you're responsible for the people who are doing this job on your team, right? And a lot of times when your work, your reputation is a huge part of your identity, then that makes it even harder for you to step back. Because then you're going to be wondering, oh my goodness, what if they really needed my help? Let me go check my email. Oh my goodness, what if they mess up because I wasn't there to do it, or look over their shoulders, which you don't want to be a micromanager, by the way. And they should be at a point, for the most part, where they've gotten the adequate amount of resources and trainings that they need to succeed without having to tap on your shoulder constantly. Every once in a while is fine. Unknown, unexpected circumstances that come up, that's fine. That's what you're there for. But you're not there to fix it. You're not there to be the person who does all the things for all the people all the time. Do you hear what I'm saying here? This is really important. And so if you're feeling like you're having hands pulling at you from all sorts of ways, your job, your family, there's nothing left for yourself, and then you end up exploding. You get so frustrated. You're like, if I hear one more person say, "Got a minute?" I'm going to lose my mind. Or if you get home and somebody asks you, "What's for dinner?" That simple question, you might feel like you're going to lose your mind. And for something that's relatively small in the grand scheme of things, for you to lose your mind over that, that's not a good sign. Okay, because you're able to handle hard things relatively easily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be at the level that you are. People wouldn't have entrusted you to take on the amount of responsibilities that you have. But you're not supposed to be there to do all the work. You're supposed to be there to help others work in their zone of brilliance. Okay. So this is not good for anyone. It's not good for others because they are not allowed to step into their genius, right? What they do best. It's not good for you because you get overwhelmed. You get frustrated. You get resentful. Why do people have to keep on bothering me, interrupting me all day long? You let them. I'm sorry to say this, but most of the time, it's because you haven't set boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. How do you want to teach people to treat you? I know, I get it. It is a boost to your ego, to your confidence when somebody comes to you and sees you as the person who can do it successfully, quickly, easily, minimal errors. That's great. That's great. You can do that. It's not a question of whether or not you can do it. It's not even a matter of you needing to prove yourself. Have already proved yourself. That's why you're at where you are. You've worked really hard to get here. But you have to be careful as to what you take on and what you don't. Where you step in and where you say, "I see you have a challenge here. Here's what I can do." And not feel like you have to take on the whole thing. Or here's what I suggest you do. So the responsibility is on them to go figure it out, but you're guiding them. You're letting them know, okay, here's a resource you might want to tap into, or you can ask Susie Q, or who knows who, right? Who knows, somebody that can help with this issue, right? It doesn't always have to be you. You don't always have to be the one who comes in and rescues people. And that's why you're feeling so overwhelmed. That's why you're getting so irritated and frustrated with people. And you just want to say, world, leave me alone. I get it. I get it. It's hard, especially as high achievers. It's really hard to separate from work. But you're going to find that if you're not intentional about what you commit to or what you say yes to, even these little things, because they add up, these micro commitments add up. And then finally, the straw that broke the camel's back hits you. And then everything comes tumbling down. Everything. Your team, your career, your reputation, your family life, your health, because you're so stressed out. I know this probably resonates with you. Otherwise, you still wouldn't be watching this. So think about that, really. This is a big problem people have, okay? Those never-ending demands. It's a big problem. Big, big, big problem. And it doesn't have to be this way. So if this is something that you want some help with, I'm your person. Been doing this for a really long time. I actually went through this issue with myself. And I help my clients with this. Okay, so send me a message. Simple as that. Just send me a message if you want some help with this, and we'll talk about what your current situation is and how I can support you in not being in this cycle of having taught people to come to you to solve all the problems. Right? You don't have time for that. You don't have the energy for that. You need to be focusing on strategy, on those higher level activities. Okay, and inspiring and leading others to go do their thing, right? So let's talk if you want to improve that. Until next time, take care. I'm Dr. Lucero Ojeda, and I'll see you soon.